And you can have the money, and you can have the fame. For me, I want the glory. I'm living for the name. See, life is just a picture.
All right, on my hotline right now, well, to set you up, Lecrae, let me just say I follow one of the Seattle Seahawks running backs. I think it's once a week. He's quoting Lecrae almost if Lecrae is his favorite. Yogi Berra drops great lines. Well, Lecrae drops great lines, and Justin Forset's always going, Lecrae said this today. Welcome, sir.
Pleasure. I'm very appreciative of y'all and my man, Jay.
Even though your style, we are not inundated with tons of hip hop on my station.
Sure.
But you have kind of transcended that, and I think where it hit was a David Crowder song, Shadows, where I think your part in the bridge was just, you can feel this passion that even if you're not a hip hop fan, just passion drips from, whatever part you have in a song. And even in the new Brit Nicole album, it's, quality, you just do quality work. And I think that's what a lot of people appreciate.
Wow. Appreciative of that. I look at what I do as an opportunity to serve people, and I want to do the best I possibly can. And then on top of that, it's really an overflow of the reality of my life, and a lot of the things that I've been impacted with. So a lot of times I can't help but spill it out in a song.
I think when somebody says, hey, Lecrae, I want you to come speak at Passion, you now no longer are this guy that's just with a certain style of music. People want you to speak. How did that all come about with Louis and being a part of Passion?
Well, I think that, I definitely not only represent an artist within multi-genres who's open about his faith, but even within my community, within the hip-hop community, I've been an outspoken leader and had a desire to want to encourage and challenge and change the landscape. And so I think that right along with Louis' heart to want to see change and to want to see that implemented, there's a kindred spirit there, and it's definitely just a mutual respect for the desire to see people's lives transformed, within the world at large. And I think, he's definitely started in his circle, and it's broadened, and the same could be said for what I'm doing as well.
Lecrae, you can expect early fall, new album from Lecrae. I've got a few questions for you, if you don't mind me doing rocket fire here, okay?
Sure.
Oh, and I just remembered, I had a dream. I woke up this morning knowing I was going to be talking to you, and I had a dream that I overslept or was late and missed the entire thing. And when dreams feel real, and I came to work going, no, I don't have the Lecrae interview anymore today. And then I'm like, wait a second, that was all a dream. Anywho,
hilarious.
You've got wife and children. Have you ever played a song for your kids that you were tinkering with and they did not like it at all?
I don't know if they didn't like it, but they definitely have gravitated to some more than others. Okay. So I guess that's maybe a yes.
Okay. So it's not a straight up, no, we don't like it, Dad. It's just kind of like shifty eyes. And
yeah, kind of like, okay, whenever you decide to play the next song, it's all right with us.
Yeah, but you have had those moments where, maybe your wife's looking at you going, that's the winner right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a good feeling, because my wife is not one of my listeners, and so because she's heard your material, I guess so much she's too close to the fire. So when it comes to just new stuff, it's very tough for me to win her over. So musically,
I can relate to that as well.
Yeah,
definitely can relate to that as well.
Let's say the ultimate. I know you did a song with Brit Nicole recently. It's on her album, and I know you're a 10th Avenue North fan.
Yeah.
Let's would love to work with those guys one day, and I think Mike Donaghy's just a brilliant kid that looks like a surfer dude, But who would be maybe the oddest but ultimate Lecrae? If somebody said, Lecrae, I want you on a song, what would be the one you'd be most stoked about? Maybe on the Christian format, however broad that is.
No, it would probably be even Curtis Chapman.
Really?
And yeah, really, because interesting story. I really, when I first started doing music, I didn't know much about Christian music, and I didn't grow up in a Christian home. So I met him for the first time, and I didn't know who he was. And he came up and he said, "Oh man, I appreciate you. My daughter loves your music. She goes to school here, And I was like, thank you. And everyone started taking pictures of us. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Who is this guy? So I called my friend. I said, I think I met the mayor of Waco. and he said, why? I said, everyone's taking pictures of him. And him and me shaking hands, man. His name is Stephen Curtis Chapman. And they had a good time laughing at me on that one, man. So, but since then, I've just appreciated his heart, his story.
Yeah.
And, man, I respect him a great deal.
Lecrae's my guest for the Thursday afternoon chat. For our audience, Lecrae, how does you're doing a tour in Africa? How does that look from just doing a normal tour in the U.S., maybe out with the 10th Avenue North, staying in hotels, or maybe just being on the bus, city after city, and then all of a sudden you're doing your music in Africa? How's that going to look?
Oh man, it's an incredible experience. Obviously there's some things that we're accustomed to, in the States that just are not the norm everywhere else. You may not be put up in hotels, you may be sleeping in someone's, house, but, the hospitality is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
The food's going to be phenomenal, and they know how to pack a place out in Africa, that's for certain. So, tons and tons of people, all loving the same God that we love here, in the States. And so, definitely reminds you of why you do what you do, and that it's not about the lights, camera, action, the big stages, the hotel rooms, and the green rooms. It's really and truly because you love God, love people.
Yeah, and the first time around you were sick when you did this. How are you avoiding that this time around? Precautions?
Last time around, I really tried to do a lot of stuff naturally and avoided a lot of medicines and, but I was such a novice, I didn't really know how to do it all. And so I've grown. My wisdom has gotten a little stronger and knows how to take care of my body when I travel now.
You can follow Lecrae on Twitter. It's Lecrae, and that's where you find out about new album coming, in September or at least early fall. Craziest place you've ever written lyrics to a song that has ended up on a Lecrae album? What was the craziest place you wrote it on? Like, I don't have anything, but this idea is flowing. I got to get this down somehow.
Yeah, I think, it's not necessarily crazy. I think it's just, you just don't have anything to write it down. And, sometimes I'll ride the train and instead of driving. And when I'm on the train, I have to walk from stop to station to station or something like that. And as I'm walking, I don't have anything to write with, or my phone is going out or something like that. I just try to memorize the lyrics as I'm walking, so people think I'm talking to myself because I keep repeating the same things over and over again out loud, so they'll stay in my head.
Yeah, don't stare at him, honey.
Yeah.
What does it make you feel like when I've got two names in front of me that are two huge sports guys over the past 6 months, and that's New York Knicks Jeremy Lin, that's been a sensation, and the whole world's talking about this guy, and he quotes Lecrae as one of my biggest Lecrae is the one artist in my headphones when I'm preparing to go to Madison Square Garden to, play a game, and then all of a sudden Bubba Watson wins the Masters, and he's a fan of your music. I mean, you didn't mean to get into all this, it just kind of happened, and now these guys are dropping your name. What does that feel like?
It's really encouraging. Not so much because Jeremy and Bubba are shouting me out, but because when they're saying me, they're saying that they agree with my heart and my perspective, and that means that they are in love with Jesus and that they want His name to be known, and that I'm serving those guys by giving them music that encourages them and keeps them focused on what really matters. And so it's a great honor to be able to serve guys who have platforms that large and who can share their faith with the world. And so I really feel honored, and it's really humbling for those guys to shout me out. And I just hope I can continue to serve more individuals like themselves for years to come.
Well, I've been wanting to chat for a while because it is, I don't want to say rare because that makes everybody else seem bad, but I think just following you on Twitter and watching other people quoting you on Twitter and stuff like that, it's like this guy is not drinking from a drink of wealth and fame. He could care less, and you can see that bleeding through the text, and it's so rare because it's our human nature to get a taste of that, and then we gravitate to it, and then we get ruined, Keep it up. Much love, and looking forward to hearing some new stuff later this year.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you. I'm going to keep pumping it out for y'all.
Afternoons with Jayar, The Q, 99.7.